Hi, my name is Elena Cenzo, and my speech today is to inform people on the life of orphans in Africa and how they live day to day to survive. I will touch on the most common reasons as to why they become orphans in the first place, what kind of options they have and where they go after they become orphans or are abandoned, what they are required to do in order to survive, and some statistics of the ones living on the streets. Imagine waking up every morning and going to bed every night feeling so hungry, lonely, sad, and depressed that you don't even want to wake up the next morning. Imagine being abandoned by your own parents, thrown to the streets, left to survive on your own. This is just a small glimpse into the life of orphans in Africa and how they live to survive day to day. The number of orphans in Africa is increasing drastically. We see commercials every once in a while of someone promoting the well-being of abandoned children, but we never hear or see in depth as to what these children really go through and what they do to survive. I was able to live in Africa for an extended period of time and see firsthand what these children go through and how they really do survive. Let me start out by explaining the most common reasons as to how they become orphans or abandoned in the first place. I was able to go in Zambia to a place called SOS Children's Village. The director's name is Mudenda, and I will show you, I made a DVD of my visit, and I'll show you firsthand what his reasons are as to why children become orphans in the first place.
Most of our children here lost their parents due to HIV/AIDS, and there is also another number of abandoned children. I think the parents or relatives were not able, so they simply threw them on the streets.
As you heard from him, there is a high number that lose their parents to AIDS and they become orphans, or their parents just abandon them. They can't take care of them and they would rather feed themselves, so they throw their children to the streets. There's also war and famine that play a huge part in children becoming orphans. There's wars all over Africa. There's still a huge genocide in Darfur where millions of children are losing their parents. So after these children become orphans, where do they go and what kind of options do they have? I went to Bethel Orphanage in Zambia and spoke with Mother Chileche, and she said that they take in as many orphans as they can. However, the biggest problem they run into is the problem of having enough food. So they have to limit how many children they take in, which is the case for a lot of orphanages all over that continent. They can sometimes go with relatives. If the relatives are able to take care of them, that's not too common because their relatives are fighting for their own life, so how can they support others? They live on the streets if they can't find anywhere else to go. And there's also the option of adoption. However, some countries in Africa won't allow anyone to adopt, and the ones that do, it can be a very long and grueling process. So what do these children do for survival, and what are some statistics of one on the streets? Well, a lot of them, there's 60% of the girls that sell themselves on the streets. The children will sell anything for money, plastic bags, cigarettes, whatever they can find to get a little bit of money, they'll try and sell. They live the law of the jungle, where the older ones will rob, abuse physically or sexually. The younger ones take from them all they can to survive themselves. Most of the children become addicted to drugs. 90% of children living on the streets become addicted to inhalants such as shoe glue or paint thinner. They'll do whatever they can to have a warm night and try and survive. UNAIDS.org has some statistics of orphans. 15% of orphans are age 0 to 2, 35% age 5 to 9, and 50% age 10 to 14. Africa has the greatest proportion of orphans, and in 2010 it was estimated that there are 42 million orphans in Africa. Here is a poster of some pictures I was able to find. There's some kids becoming addicted to inhalants, begging for food, trying to sleep at night, lonely. Here's one that probably won't even last another year. He's too malnourished. And I saw this poster that really stuck out to me, and it says, AIDS in Africa, the orphaned continent. I know not all of us are able to help these children in many ways, but just being aware of what's going on, I think, is a big step in the right direction. There are so many innocent children fighting for their lives and trying to survive, and I know it seems like a daunting, sometimes impossible task to help them all, but like I said, being aware is the first step in moving forward, and being informed of something can bring people that much closer to helping. Thank you.